If India ever finds its way back to freedom and democracy that were proud hallmarks of its first 18 years as an independent nation, someone would surely erect a monument to Justice H R Khanna of the Supreme Court. These wonderful words were printed in the New York Times on April 30th, 1976. Hello everybody, my name is Tanya. Welcome to the LegalEdge's YouTube channel, and in the Monday Motivation series, we are going to talk about none other than Justice Hansraj Khanna. शुरुआत करते हैं एक हिस्ट्री लेसन से. So the year was 1975 and under Article 352 पूरे देश में emergency declare हो चुकी थी. Reading clause 1 of Article 359, the Parliament had stated that all fundamental rights, including Article 14, 19 and 21, shall be suspended. No person will have the right to move to the courts and have these rights enforced for them. Across the nations, activists, protesters as well as journalists were being detained. और इन सब के बीच में आया ADM जबलपुर वर्सेस शिवकांत शुक्ला का केस, popularly known as the habeas corpus case and unfortunately known as the case that never should have been. So a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court sat and pondered over the question कि क्या प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ इमरजेंसी पार्लियामेंट को ये राइट देता है कि वो किसी का राइट टू लाइफ एंड पर्सनल लिबर्टी सस्पेंड कर सके. While 4 of the judges of this bench stood in favor of this argument, there was one dissenter, and that was Justice H R Khanna. Justice Hansraj Khanna stood firm on his conviction कि किसी भी इंसान का right to life holds supremacy in the constitutional ideals and must be protected. If this right is suspended, there will be no distinction from a lawless and a lawful society. Did you know, being one of the senior most judges in the Supreme Court, he was in running to be the next Chief Justice of India. But this dissenting opinion to stand by the ideals of Constitution and his own integrity and principles, and to give an opinion against one of the strongest governments that India had ever seen, took him out of this running. But as Mr. Nani Palkiwala himself put in a tribute towards Mr. H R Khanna, that for a man with such stature, a position of Chief Justice of India could add nothing. That is the kind of inspiration, that is the kind of legacy that Justice H R Khanna left as a mark on the Indian judiciary. He was a man who believed that Constitution is not just a parchment of paper, it is a way of living life, it is a way of ideals to be upheld for a nation like India to be what it envisaged in its independent future. I am not sharing this story as an advisory on how one must interpret Article 21, nor am I sharing this that what happens as a consequence of going against one of the most powerful governments India had seen. But I share this story about a man who inspired generations of people, law students, citizens and judges who live to abide by the constitutional ideals that when you have integrity and conviction towards your own principles and your own truth, an incentive no matter how alluring should not stand in your way to stand by it. In his book, Neither Roses Nor Thorns, Justice Khanna speaks about how he already knew the implications of what his dissent might have on his chance at becoming the Chief Justice of India. However, if there is ever a judge who is celebrated for protecting the independence of judiciary, for standing by in one of the darkest hours that the nation had seen in its independent tenure, it was Mr. Khanna himself. While Justice Khanna's judgments are celebrated for some of the most landmark judgments like Keshwananda Bharati or the ADM Jabalpur case, which even after so many years are still referred in coming judgments by the apex court itself, the contribution by this great man towards upholding the constitutional ideals by pure grit and integrity towards his work go far deeper than what can be covered in an educational or an academic discourse of reading his judgments. Justice Khanna is known as the living proof that no matter how high you are in the hierarchy of your professional career, as a human, you might at some point run into the ethical conundrum of choosing between your beliefs or your professional career. It is in this time, in these challenging times, that the person who chooses to do the honorable thing, who stands by his integrity and his honesty, is what will distinguish you from being a good professional to a great man. And that is why he is an inspiration throughout to generations of judges. It is why he was awarded as the living legend of law. It is why that we still stand by and celebrate even his dissenting judgments through our references of cases after cases where Article 21 comes into question before the apex court itself. Dear students, when you start this week working towards your dream career, remember, it takes nerves of steel, integrity, honesty, and true compassion towards your work and your belief that is going to manifest success and ambition in your life. Not let your resolve towards your work shake. Remember the ideals put forward by Justice H R Khanna. And thank you for watching this video. If you like this story, if it has inspired you and given you the energy to work throughout this week towards your dream life, then please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on our social media handles of Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram, where we keep updating you with more of such interesting content. You can call on the number given on the screen. It is your one-stop contact for all questions related to LegalEdge. Thank you for watching.